You think 3 days a week isn't enough to grow? I used to think that too, until I realized that it's not about how often you train, but how you train. Give me a few minutes and I'll explain to you a very simple 3-step process on how to maximize gains with the little time you have. Back when I first began lifting, I used to think that going more often just equaled more gains. So I had a 6-day on, 1-day off style split. It took me a while to realize how ineffective that really is. Our bodies need rest. Without it, you quite literally won't grow. So then I switched to a 3-day on, 1-day on, 3-day on, 1-day on style split. And I love it. But what if you can't do that? What if you don't have the time to go 3 days, 1 day, 3 days, 1 day? Should you just stop going to the gym altogether? No, absolutely not. You can still make incredible gains with just 3 days a week. In fact, studies show that as long as you hit the right muscle groups with enough volume, you will still make tremendous gains in muscle and strength, just as much as someone who's going more frequently than you. You just have to plan your split correctly. The first step is to realize that just because you can't go more than 3 days a week doesn't mean that you won't gain muscle. I've talked to many people who think 3 days a week is not enough, and this is how the conversation will go. Do you go to the gym? No, I don't have the time to go to the gym. Well, do you have the time to go just 3 hours a week? Just maybe an hour a day for 3 days? Yeah, I do, but what's the point of that? You're only going 3 hours a week. That's not enough to gain muscle. Something is better than nothing. You want to better your health. You have to put in at least a few hours a week in order to do that. Now that you understand that 3 hours a week is all you need to get gains, the second step, how to organize your split. I'm gonna make this pretty clear for you. There are 3 different ways that I'm gonna give to you on how to organize your split. The first way is the Arnold split. On day 1, you hit chest and back. Day 2, you hit arms. So shoulders, triceps, biceps, and forearms. And day 3, you hit legs. The second option is the classic split. Day 1, chest and triceps. Day 2, back and biceps. Day 3, legs and shoulders. I've tried this split before and honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of it, and I'll tell you why. On day 3, you hit legs and shoulders. I always find myself feeling like death after legs. And shoulders also takes a lot of energy out of me. So when I pair legs and shoulders together, I actually feel like death. The third option is push-pull legs. Day 1, push day. Chest, triceps, shoulders. Day 2, pull day. Back and biceps. Day 3, legs. This is my favorite split. I have ran this split on and off for a lot of times, and I have so much fun doing this one. If you're wondering how to organize this split throughout the week, here's a very simple example. Your option 1 is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Option 2 is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I would always incorporate a rest day in between these days because you're only going 3 days a week and there's 7 days a week, so you have enough space to have a rest day in between. I wouldn't just front load the week or back load the week doing all your exercises at the beginning or all your exercises at the end. I think that spreading it out over the week is a better option for your body. So you've chose the split. The third step is mindset and the types of exercises you need to be doing to maximize your time in the gym. Isolation exercises are an excellent way to isolate a muscle and really get that muscle going. But you are in a time pinch. You can't possibly isolate every single muscle by itself and still make it within the hour. So your best friend is gonna be compound lifts. Compound lifts are lifts where they target more than one muscle at the same time. Things like bench, squats, and deadlifts. So for example, when you're hitting chest, you want to do compound exercises such as barbell bench press or incline barbell bench press. When you are hitting back, do things such as pull-ups or barbell row. If you can't do pull-ups yet, do assisted pull-ups. These 2 exercises will light up your back. When you're doing legs, there's only one variation that is reigning king, and that is some type of squat. Barbell squats, and if you can't do barbell squats, do hack squats or leg press. These exercises are going to save a ton of time and still result in massive gains. The key here is to choose an exercise you like doing and that you feel your muscles really working. For example, I don't really feel my chest working on barbell bench or flat barbell bench. So in its place, I tend to do incline barbell. That's the one where I feel my chest lighting up, and I also really like the movement. With that being said, you're still gonna need some isolation work in your split. Muscles like biceps and calves don't typically get hit very much during a compound lift, so you're still gonna need to do bicep curls and calf raises. The good news is the muscles that typically do not get hit during compound lifts, such as biceps and calves, recover very quickly. So you could rest for 30 seconds to a minute and still perform at your maximum. You're gonna need some isolation work for these types of muscles if you want to grow these muscles effectively. One mistake a lot of people make is rushing through exercises. I know you have limited time, but you still need to have high intensity and control. Make every set count. And just a reminder, just because you're training 3 days a week and training less does not mean you're gonna grow slower. Stay consistent, eat enough protein, increase weights over time, and the gains will come. So don't overthink it. 3 days is enough. The key is to train smart, stay consistent, and focus on the basics. With this in mind, you will outgrow most people training 6 days a week with no plan. You know what to do. Get up and get after it.